Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, that's right. Some of you all were thinking, thank goodness she's never going to make another video again. Well, joke's on you. Here I am. So, yeah, deal with it. Yes. So, we can all owe this to a good friend on my Discord, the Desk Lamp of the Secret Variety, who actually suggested that instead of looking at characters from the base of their stats and how strong they are versus other characters, maybe we should evaluate for them for who they are inside and who they are in the story and how cool they look and things like that. Because you know what? Those are important points too. And I think that some people sometimes forget how important that is. For example, I just enjoyed through the eyes of someone on my Discord the Lord of the Rings trilogy vicariously through somebody's eyes, somebody who has never seen it before, and that was really fun and really exciting. And if we're going to use that as an example, I would say let's imagine that there is a Lord of the Visions collaboration in which one of the units that drops is Legolas, and I suppose he would be Earth. And we've got this Earth Ranger unit, which we actually don't have. Do we have? I don't think we have a missile unit for Earth. Yeah. Not that I can think of, at least not in the UR-MR variety. Unless there's a time limited one I'm not thinking of. Anywho, that guy, as far as like filling a niche, would be awesome. But on top of that, Legolas is awesome. He looks awesome. Everything about his character is awesome. So that would be like just like a sure thing. Like I'm for sure summoning for that guy. On the other hand, let's imagine that collab is also coming out with a dark unit, Grima Wormtongue. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, Dark Meta's so great right now. Dark Meta's so hype and OP meta, things like that. Whatever you all talk like. I don't even know what language you use when you're talking like that. But let's say those are the things that you're saying. And guess what? You have to live with yourself that the unit that you're pulling is Grima Wormtongue and looks like Grima Wormtongue, because I'm sorry, but he sucks. He looks dumb. He's terrible. So yeah, maybe you're pulling something that you're very excited about because they're strong, but you know what? At the end of the day, you've got a lame looking unit, and he's kind of a piece of shite. So there's that. So that's kind of where we're going here. Is evaluating people for those kinds of qualities. It's time to show your quality. Locke, you've shown your quality. Have you done some squats lately? I'm not sure. We can't seem to get you to do that. So all the poking is not making it happen. Okay, this is getting awkward. So let's move on. Oh, did I talk about? The other thing that's a little bit awkward is that, yes, I am playing on an alt account. That's why it says Rydia up here instead of Adora, because I'm sorry, everybody knows my in-game name is Dora. However, apparently among legend league, you all like alt accounts a lot and clones, and you think that that's a really cool thing. And few of us were kind of like, well, what's all the rage there? So during Trials of Reckoning, while our main accounts were just farming their lives away, as they do, we decided to see what this was about. And actually, yeah, new players these days get a lot of cool things, which is probably another video of its own. Not that you want me to make it, but it's interesting, like how much you can get going on a new account real early. And I just had fun burning my viz to the ground, because what better thing to do with an alt account but completely disrespect the resources you're given. I think that's a really fun thing to do, is just dump your viz into a pile of idiotic wastefulness. Anyhow, so I've been playing around with that, and that's why my name is Rydia. I guess that's all I really needed to tell you, and that's a really cool name. Cheers to Rydia. She's a great character, since we're talking about how we support cool and great characters. So let's go in. Did I give the spoiler alert about there might be story reveals? Anyhow, story reveals, movie reveals. I'll give that alert again. There you go. All right, so here we have this week Astrius. He is a crystal warrior, as we know from watching him the last little story bit for another story, not the main one, but another one. And I mean, I guess he's okay. He's supposed to be super strong. All I kind of see here is him taking down a bomb, which last time I checked, we feed bomb soup in the barracks to our units. So I don't know that I'm all really that impressed just from this animation. But I think that if you've heard anybody chit chat about Astrius, you're really expecting a very strong meta OP meta unit in him. And especially if you're building a water team, maybe you pulled Celeste like I did, because I love Final Fantasy VI, my favorite Final Fantasy. Well, then you might be excited to pair them. So he is up for your consideration this week. Astrius is a bit, I feel like his character doesn't get my full vote, but I'm also not going to veto him because I feel like there's still a lot that we need to know. Let me find another picture for him because he's kind of doing the same thing over and over again, and it's making me dizzy. No, that's not bad. No. Don't you have a picture? Just give us a picture or something. There you go. Give us your 3D picture. There you go. Thanks. So my feeling with him is that he is kind of like a bone spur or soul spur off of Velus's BFF, which isn't necessarily a deal breaker because there is something kind of wonderful about a spirit born out of hope or out of like a strong desire to protect one's friends. For me, that's a noble cause, so points there. At the same time, his way of going about it was very destructive, and he kind of put a bunch of our favorite Crystal Warriors' lives at risk in order to kind of try to achieve his end game. And we've seen that in some certain attractive Final Fantasy bad guys. Arden, maybe, perhaps. So there is kind of this noble notion of ending this cycle of sacrifice, ending this cycle of death, which isn't a terrible cause. I can understand it, especially if maybe they can be persuaded to not be doing horrible things. So let's read about him. A vision born from the inner turmoil of a former warrior of the crystals who was torn between his duties and his desire for freedom. His goal, to eradicate the core crystals and free the warriors of the crystals from their fate. He is an unlikely rebel who wishes for freedom and treasures his companions above all else. So yes, kind of to what we were talking. Well, I'm talking about it. I don't know what you're doing, but I feel like he does have some noble purpose behind him. Whether or not he's carrying it out in a positive way is yet to be determined. So far, not so much, but I'm not going to write you off yet, Astrius/Astoria. So that's that. I'm not going to tell you that he's evil. Let's look at his jobs. He's got the Will Weaver as his main. That's the Vanguard. If you've never heard of that, it's quite popular as a class. Well, for him, it's the Vanguard Striker class, a job that can use unique area attacks from a distance. I do love me some AoE, which is also suited to taking on various types of enemies via guaranteed hit, which I love. And I think they mean additional effects granted by courage. right, Will-Weaver. We next will look at Sniper. We know what Sniper is. A middle guard, definitely not Vanguard. Striker class. It's about sabotaging opponents by inflicting debuffs and status elements. And then lastly, we have Strider. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, man. Alright, well, that's a Vanguard, of course. Striker class. That is capable of raising the attack power of nearby allies and increasing its own defense piercing rate via its support ability, allowing it to deal damage to enemies with high defense. So, a lot going on with Astrius. It's going to be very powerful, of course. Again, if you pair him up with water units and the water cards and their sub cards, and you bedazzle him to death and things like that. So. He could be quite strong. Speaking of bedazzling, his Trustmaster reward is the Everhope Mantle. We've got some raw HP on there, some defense and spirit, and some accuracy. And the move that procs is Rebel Grace, which raises the bravery of allies within an area around self and raises attack and agility for 3 turns. So a lot like Valric's TMR, where you'll get that auto AoE bravery buff. I think Valric's is a little bit better as far as the range goes, but I've got to tell you, as being somebody who started a new account, there's nothing more awesome about or than having TMRs that will just auto bravery and auto faith, because man, meditation sucks, and like all of those other things, like it never procs. People just don't like generally want to encourage bravery in their teammates. For some reason, this game hates it. So it requires a lot of touching, and I just prefer not to touch my games. So that's a TMR that I can really get behind, especially in my situation. Although as a Crystal Warrior, his banner is going to suck a lot. So I can't say that. I would, if you're looking for a bravery TMR, just go get Valric's. This is not a way to get a bravery TMR. It's going to be a little bit painful. And like I said, all he really does is just destroy bombs. So, I don't know. Alright, there you go. That's Astrius. What else have we got this week? Oh, a new vision card for Persona 5 Royal, which I'm a big fan of this game, so maybe you can already hear the bias in my voice. But the vision card, Changing the World Takes Heart, is here. You can get it via, I don't care. Why am I telling you how to get it? Again, you figure it out. You look at the game, you decide how you want to go for it, if you do, if you don't. But all I'm here to do is tell you if it's cool, right? Right. So let's go look at it. First of all, the art in this game is kind of always cool, and this is no exception. I'm looking at this and it fills me with nostalgia for this cast of characters, and I see team members, I see non-team members. Spoiler alert, I won't tell you which is which and who are team members, who are what do they call them? Not companions, confidants, and whatnot. So I will just say that it makes me really happy looking at it. So the card itself is generally 4 dark units. You can get some buffs for your Persona crew. So you will get, it looks like, dark attack up 20 for Joker, attack up 20%, magic up 20% for Queen, and then slash up 20 for Violet. But generally you want to look at how this is a dark card for like maybe your PvP or your PvE party. I don't care. If you're in Grayskull, which is my guild, then yeah, slap this on your mono dark party and go to town and wreak some havoc and get some stars. Thanks. If you're not in Grayskull, I don't really know. Maybe just put on Violet. Sound good? Okay. Well, dark unit Maneater upon physical attack up 25, dark unit accuracy up 13, and dark unit max HP up 25%. So yeah, I think that sounds really, really good for your guild's version of Violet, or maybe you just want to put it on Elena. That's maybe something you could do too. So have fun with that. Anyhow, from the looks again, I would say very, very cool looking card. I plan to snag this because I love Persona, and why wouldn't I, right? Persona 5 Royal, I should say. In fact, my sister played Persona 5 first, and she's younger than me, and she loved it, and so I had to grumble for a little bit. And then, of course, Man Sly was like, oh, you should play the Persona 5 Royal. It's really good. Not that that's what the voice sounds like, but let's just pretend it does. And I did, and I really loved it. And she hasn't played the Royal version, so joke's on her. I know more about Joker and this group than she does, so deal with that. Alright, so yes, is this card cool? Yes, it's very cool. I recommend it. I would absolutely pull for that. Beyond that, there's a lot of these weird banners that just want to take your Visior, your paid Visior. That's up to you. I don't really care what you do. But Joker, yes. Violet, yes. They are so super cool looking. Their characters are awesome. The game is amazing. If you play this game in like a month or two from now and you didn't pull these characters, you're gonna regret it. So that would be my advice to you there, is that you might want to pick these guys up if you think you will play the game, because you're gonna like them, you're gonna want them. Word to the wise. So yeah, hope that was helpful, because that's my job, right, is to help. I guess not really, but I ultimately just want to say you're gonna have a lot of information. You're gonna have to digest it. You're gonna have to look at your Visior, decide if it's the kind of stash that you can just burn through aimlessly, and decide what you want to do about it. But I hope that you can take all my words with a grain of salt, because that's all they are, is just my words. And I appreciate you hanging out. And what? I don't know. What? Oh, this is something I have a question about, because I do love, one of the greatest things about doing these videos is that I can ask questions and get some real-time feedback that can help me in real life. All right, so here's the thing. My car, which I'm kind of afraid is like a super, super polite car, has put on a light that says service engine soon, which I would like to know, is that just a polite message to get myself off my behind and like rush over to the car place because it's about to blow up in my face? Or is it just a literal statement that, you know, perhaps you should service the engine soon, something like that? I don't know. It is a orangish light. It's not red, so I feel like if it were red, I'd know it was dangerous. So yeah, I'm just a little curious on that. I don't mind procrastination. Procrastination is very, very comforting. I love it a lot. So I will keep going, and hopefully it won't blow up in my face. But if it does get to a point where I have to take it in, lucky for me, the car place is right next to a place where I can get margaritas, chips and queso, maybe a breakfast taco. So it's not all bad. So yeah, if you could tell me how much time I have left driving my vehicle around, that would be great. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right. I think we covered it. So yeah, thanks for keeping me on mute, or for leaving, because that's probably smart too, or for maybe hanging out the whole time, stuff like that. As usual, goodbyes are very awkward, so I'm having a hard time here. But I will say that this video has been backwards sponsored, in which case they are not sponsoring me, but I am fake sponsoring them. This week's game, Wildermyth, is all about procedural generation. It's like a D&D game, tabletop game that you can play and design casted characters, the relationships that you would like them to have,
take them on the ventures that you would like to journey on, and tell the stories in your own heart.
Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, again, I don't know, I guess this is the first time I'm saying it, so for the first time and for the second time, thanks for hanging out, and as always, cheers.